What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over and talking about the content that is going to be coming in College Football 25 Ultimate Team tomorrow and how you guys can prepare for it. Now, earlier on this season, we did see a bunch of the Heisman hopefuls promo, which honestly, those cards are going to steadily go down in price, but they're not like must-sell cards right now. The cards that are must-sell cards by tomorrow are these Rivals cards. Now, with Lewis, I got him out of a free pack, so I can't sell him. He's unsellable. Same thing with Prize Talk. So as I go through and do this video, if you guys are like, Ty, why do you not sell those cards? That is going to be the exact reason. But let's take a look at the Rivals prices in the auction house before we dive into should you buy them, or should you sell them, should you hold on to them. Now, the first thing I want to say is last week was the first drop of the Rivals set. So we haven't seen a ton of these cards in circulation. And so if you guys are like, Ty, well, these cards aren't super expensive, but they're not super cheap. Well, that is why. Again, even a guy like Dominic Lovett, he's really good, but his price is going to go down a ton tomorrow. And it really depends on the card you have. For example, if you have a 91 overall, it's not as drastic to sell. If you have Amari Harvey, it's going to be tough to sell him for 90,000, especially if you have a team chemistry on him. Lose that 10%, lose the team chemistry, and then buy him back. Whereas if you have a Dominic Lovett and can sell him for 300,000 coins, you're easily going to come out positive on him. So, especially with the 92 overalls, guys, I would definitely sell them. So if you have anybody, let's say, like Lovett, even like Kyle Lewis, these are guys that I probably would recommend selling. Even a guy, let's say, like Band-Aids, Chapman, these are cards that are going to go down a ton tomorrow in price. Now, if you have Brock Diao, he's still selling for 150. I still think tomorrow you could see his price dip below 100,000 coins. So even for me, I've got the card, and I still think if I sell this card, I'm going to come out in the positives. Now, I'm pretty sure he's not unsellable. I can't really make sure, but I'm going to refund this and try to sell him. I'm pretty sure I can, and I'm going to put him up for 153 and hope the card sells because, like I said, he is going to come down a ton in price tomorrow. And again, after the tax, I mean, he's going to sell for basically 138. Team chemistry, you're looking at 123. But I'm confident tomorrow I'll be able to get him for like 100,000 coins. And so if you have any of these top Rivals cards, if you have budget guys, again, it's going to be tough to come out in the positives on them. But expect a lot of these prices to drop tomorrow. Now, we haven't seen the leaks at the time I'm recording this, so we don't know exactly what positions are going to be coming. But let's say we do get another Rivals top wide receiver in the game. Trust me when I tell you Dominic Lovett's price is going to go down. And then in Friday or come Sunday, if we see another right tackle, Chapman's price is going to come down extra. Now, I'm already knowing that their prices are going to come down because a lot more of these cards are going to be pulled come tomorrow. But especially with Dominic Lovett, this is the one card that I'm like, if you have this card and don't sell him for 270, I don't know what to tell you because he's going to dip below 200,000 coins for sure come tomorrow. And so those are the things that I want you guys to be careful of. And even if you do have any of these 88, 89 Rivals cards and do not have team chemistries on some of these cards still have decent value. For example, a Prize Talk for 30, I'd try to sell him. Dan Jackson for 40, or 44, I'd try to sell him because these are cards that could dip to, especially with Dan Jackson, 30,000. Holstein could dip below 30,000. Again, I don't know what his price bottom is, but these cards are going to be pulled come tomorrow. So you could see their prices decrease. Now, as far as the overall picture, I would start thinking ahead towards the Heisman moments drop because these are cards that, again, right now are getting more and more rare because we haven't seen this drop for what now? Today is Thursday. It's been a few days. So if you have any of these cards, you can start to think ahead of it. For example, I'm just going to use Braylon Edwards for an example. The other day, I got one for 133. Now, thinking ahead, people are going to start, especially come Sunday, selling this card. So if I'm not going to play the game before Sunday a ton, and I know I'm going to be busy tomorrow and Sunday, there's no reason for me to hold on to Braylon Edwards. Again, it's just thinking ahead. I know Braylon Edwards is going to go down in price over the course of the next couple of days. And I love Braylon Edwards, but there's realistically no point of me hanging on to him because I just know he's going to lose some value. And if I can get 194, 195 out of the card that I got for 133, it just makes sense to ultimately get rid of and sell the card. So that's kind of for me what I start to think about. just think a little bit ahead for these Heisman Moments Legends cards is, can I capitalize on selling any of these cards? Same thing with Quinnen Williams, Jameis Winston. These are cards that every Sunday will lose some value and throughout the week will gain some value. And if you can sell them today, just a little bit ahead, and if you're not going to be playing the game, I think it could be worth your time. So that's kind of, again, how I approach the game and how I think just a little bit ahead to try to give myself a slight advantage over some of the other guys. Even a Caleb Johnson the other day was 130. He's now going up. Genty is going to go down come, or not Heisman hopeful, sorry. We're looking at Heisman Moments, but still Caleb Johnson's price has went up over the last week. But even like Hunter Henry, he's going to be like in the 50s. Jameis Winston is going to go way down. So again, if you have these cards, even a Darren McFadden, I don't know exactly what his price is, but like 370, his price come Sunday is going to go down even more. So just something to kind of keep in the back of your minds and think about, especially if a guy is rare. For example, like Quinnen Williams, I don't necessarily love the 129 price tag, but I do know he's pretty rare. So if I can find a way to sell him for, let's say, 170 over the course of the next couple of days, I am going to try and do that. So just start to, again, think ahead for you guys. Now, one thing I will say is if you do want any of the new LTD cards, I think it's a solid opportunity to buy them. For example, if for whatever reason you really want this tight end that came out in yesterday's Stories of the Week drop, I think it's a solid time to buy him because he is going to be out of pack soon. So if you do want Theo, his price has went down a little bit, and you're really not risking a whole ton because at the end of the day, you can always quick sell these cards for 175. But I don't see, again, for me, I don't love this LTD because Jack Velling, in my opinion, is better than the card and is way, way, way cheaper. So like him, for example, I'm not a big fan of, but like Primetime, Deion Sanders, his price, I think, has went up a little bit over the course of the last couple of days because he's out of packs. And again, nobody really has the card. And if people have him, they're probably holding on to him. So see what LTD comes out. And if an LTD comes out that you like, maybe target buying them this weekend, especially, knowing that their price is not going to drop a ton. So for me, hopefully my Brock sells. Hopefully my Braylon Edwards sells. They're two cards that I really do like. But at the end of the day, I do not want to lose a bunch of coins on the card. I like having as many coins as possible. It's the reason I have 6 million coins just sitting up there, waiting to be spent. But a lot of it is just managing what you have, what you need to have on the field. So for me, I'm excited for the next Rivals drop. I feel like the last Rivals drop honestly was pretty weak. It's important to note I don't think saw an LTD as far as the Rivals set last week. So keep an eye out for that. Will we see a Rivals LTD tomorrow? I'm not exactly sure. But also, guys, if you do like to play the weekend Gauntlet, it was kind of a cool addition. I don't play it, but if you do like the Squads Gauntlet, you can upgrade. I think it was the 91s last week. You can upgrade those cards to make them even better for your specific squad. So again, just something to kind of monitor, keep an eye on is if you do like playing Squads Gauntlet, can get an extra overall boost for that. So for me, what am I really targeting? Well, I don't necessarily know. Again, I've completed champs, so I'm not going to do that. I probably won't play Gauntlet until probably Sunday, honestly. Sunday, Monday. This weekend, last weekend's Gauntlet didn't go that well. I didn't do too well. But as far as this upcoming weekend, guys, I'm not going to be able to play the game for, a while. I'm going to be busy this weekend. So that's another reason that I'm going to be selling my cards. There's really no reason to hold on to them. Now, the last thing I do want to mention is I still don't think it's a horrible time to buy these Rising the Ranks players. So if any of these cards are cards that you want or think can help your squad out, I only think that these cards are going to go up in price heading into the next week. And so if you want a Jarquez Hunter for 50,000 coins, that's going to be tough to beat. Rutledge for under 200,000. I really like the card. And so these are cards that even sellers, I don't necessarily love sellers' price, but a lot of these cards are cards that I think are going to be tough to beat for their specific price, especially a guy like Jarquez Hunter. I mean, 50,000 coins, you're really not risking much, especially if you think he is possibly going to go up to like 60,000 by next week. So those are some things that you guys obviously can keep an eye on. We saw Rodriguez be like, 100,000 coins a couple of days ago. But even a guy like TJ Parker, he's a stud at that left end position and getting after the quarterback. Obviously, against the run, I don't think he's quite as good. But as far as getting after the quarterback, the card is an absolute stud. And if we don't see any left end specifically come this weekend, again, for 113, I mean, the card is just an absolute stud. And I know we have a lot of, left ends in the game, but it's just tough for me to pass up on a guy like that who can get after the quarterback with the best of them. So that's kind of what I'm starting to think about as well with this drop, is you can even Arden Walker right end is less than 100,000 coins. Like, these are cards that can obviously help your squad out. K'Mon Rucker's not bad in price for 54. And so start thinking about these. If you want these cards, obviously pick them up. And again, with Arden Walker, as well as TJ Parker, their cards, TJ Parker's better against the run, I believe. Like, he's got an 88 block shed. He's just an absolute beast. But with Arden Walker, make sure, he's pass rushing and not, not trying to play the run, because his block shed's not great. But just start to think about him. If you want the stories of the week cards, today is a probably pretty solid day to pick up anybody that you are wanting to add to your specific squad. So that's where I leave you with today, guys. Auction house over the next couple of days will go down a ton. So overall, be pretty patient. But if you do want any of these offensive linemen to help your squad out for this weekend, like for me, I like my offensive line. I don't really need to do a whole bunch with it. My right guard position is pretty weak because I, put up a new one. But I don't really hate my offensive line. So for me, I don't need to do a whole bunch. But if you are wanting to upgrade your offensive line, I think, today would be a decent day to do it, because the stories of the week offensive linemen are really, really, really solid. So that's going to wrap it up. Not going to talk your ear off anymore. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are doing as always, man. I love you guys. Have a blessed day.